So the NFL Network
Yes.
has its top 100 players.
Yes, they do.
And I think the players, by and large, do a pretty good job.
The ones that vote, because they don't all vote.
About 900 of the players voted. My theory is there's two positions they can't quite get their arms around. The positions that have a lot of technical nuance. Offensive line. It doesn't jump out at you. It's sometimes muddied. They only have two guys in the top 100 on this list. And by the way,
I understand that.
4 best offensive lines in the league all made the playoffs. Not the 4 best quarterbacks, not the 4 best corners.
Got it.
Second thing is quarterback's a weird position. Players tend to fall in love with guys. Cam is number 1. Now he's 44. Matt Ryan wasn't on the list. Now he's top 10. I love Matt Ryan. He's not one of the 10 best players in the league.
I agree.
So my theory is you're a former player. This is your list. I'm going to read this for the radio audience.
Okay.
Brady, Julio Jones, Marcus Peters, like that Chiefs, Antonio Brown, Aaron Rodgers, Odell Beckham, Richard Sherman, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, J.J. Watt. You've got some linemen here, 3 at the back end, Mack, Miller, Watt, near the line of scrimmage. Now let's go to Tom Brady.
Okay.
When you say he's the best player, he's not the best athlete.
Now hold on. Now, I didn't put that in any particular order, okay? Those are the 10 guys that I would put in the top 10, because I think when you start talking about the best player, then you do have to get into all the different nuances. What are you asked to do? How consistent are you in doing it? Whether or not you are exposed. There are some things. Tyron Smith is a beast. The
left tackle
for Dallas Cowboys. But I wouldn't put him as is he the best at his position? Yes, but is he one of the top 10 players in the league? No.
You're a general manager. Eric Davis, GM. You have the first pick in the draft with current NFL players. Let's play this game. Who's your first pick?
Aaron Rodgers.
That would be my first pick.
If
you consider age.
Yeah, one game I want Tom Brady. But if I'm going through a season, give me Aaron Rodgers.
Second pick.
Oh, wow. Second pick would probably a healthy J.J. Watt.
And your third.
Wow. Third, whichever one's still on the board between Khalil Mack and Von Miller.
Okay, by the way, you're not going sideline in. That's very much about ball, close to the ball, pass rusher to get the guy with the ball. So you would construct your team like I constructed.
No. You asked me who would I pick based on what was happening. Now I know what the importance of playing the game, and I still think it's outside in.
You think it's outside in?
Yes, I think it's outside in.
What?
I'll tell you why. Because if I have one receiver that you can't handle, that you have to double, it changes how you have to play defense. If I have 2 receivers that you can't cover one-on-one, it dramatically changes what you can do defensively. Now, let's flip that to the defensive side of the ball. If I can cover your wide receivers one-on-one with my guys, you don't run the ball on me. I don't care if you have Le'Veon Bell. I don't care if you have Ezekiel Elliott. If I can put 9 people in the box, you have problems. That's why Seattle has been so good for the last 4 or 5 years, because they can take care of your receivers one-on-one. So that's why I say you can dictate what a team does if you go outside in.
But the reason the Patriots in that fourth quarter moved the ball up and down on Seattle's great defense was increasingly we are a bubble screen league with a series of picks where even if you're an elite corner, I've got inside guys rubbing routes. Julio Jones is remarkable, but in his 2 biggest games, he missed last year. Atlanta scored 45 points, and in the other game, he had 1 catch. They scored 44.
Atlanta scored those points because they still have all of those other weapons. That's what I said. If you have more than one, it makes it more difficult to stop you. And even when Julio Jones is on the field with one guy, and he's catching one ball, the defense is predicated on stopping him, and you're still going to make certain that he doesn't do it, so it opens things up. I never played with a player in all the years I was playing and all the times I've been around football for over 20 years. Jerry Rice had more effect on what a team did on the football field
than Joe Montana.
Than any other player. Jerry Rice dictated everything that you did offensively because you were going to try to find ways. He was so dynamic, you were going to try to find ways to get the ball into his hands. And defensively, every single thing was done to take him away. So that's what I'm saying. Outside in, you can do all of these things. So you look at some of these players. And when you start going in, like an Aaron Donnell is a extremely disruptive player.
Rams interior defensive lineman.
But he doesn't turn the ball over. That's why some of the guys, when I look at the list and people say, why Sherm? Because Sherm does what defensive players are supposed to do. He gives it back to the offense. So does Patrick Peters. They give the ball back to the offense. So does J.J. Watt. So does Von Miller. Khalil Mack. It's not just getting a sack. Okay, when do you get the sack? And how efficient are you? So do you get that sack on third down? Because the first down sack and then they convert on third means nothing. But those guys do it on third down.
So you like guys defensively who change the possession of teams.
Exactly. That's your only job. My job defense, though, if I can score with it, hey, like a Patrick Peterson, it's, that makes you that much more dangerous.
Yeah.
That much more dangerous. But your job defensively is not to get stops. It's to give the ball back to the offense, and that's why I put those guys on the list. Now, Tom Brady, I also look at consistency. How long have you been doing it? Can I count on you week in and week out? And those are the guys also that I have on the list.
What do we make of Dak Prescott, who players voted 14th? Andrew Luck's 51. So let's just ask about Dak Prescott. Could I not argue players are a little overly emotional and living in the moment with Dak?
Well, I mean, come on, man. You talk about this all the time. It's a Twitter world. It's a microwave society. So why is Tom Brady number one on the list? Because he just won the MVP of the Super Bowl. Everyone saw that. With Dak, you saw what he did. Now, number 14, I would say that's correct if you're ranking him with the quarterbacks. I would say Dak is right now, after one season, I would say he's depending on how you feel
about the 14th best quarterback in the league.
Yes.
Okay, they ranked him the 14th best player, but you'd put him about 14th best quarterback.
Yes.
So that wouldn't qualify actually for the top 100
No,
list.
so that's what I'm saying. How are you looking at this? That's why I'm saying like Tyron Smith. There's no question he's the best tackle in the league, but he's not a top 10 player in the league because just the nature of the position. That's what I'm saying. You have to look at these things. The best tackle in the world doesn't affect that game that much. Why? I can take Khalil Mack or J.J. Watt or Von Miller and just put him on the other side. Okay, how much effect does he have then? None, because you're not going to flip your tackles. I can flip my defensive players. So that's what I'm saying. That you have to look at those type things. But as far as Dak, yeah, I mean, I could possibly make him number 12 if I was ranking quarterbacks, but I think 14 is about right.
Let me ask you 2 or 3 NFL questions. Eric Davis, Super Bowl champ and NFL analyst here, multiple Pro Bowls. First question, look at the Cowboys schedule. All the coordinators now have a year of film. He's been around the league. We've had an off season to adjust. I remember the Wildcat by year 2 wasn't the Wildcat. What do you suspect the Cowboys look like this year?
Things won't be as easy as they were, but I think Dak is real. I think Zeke and Dak are real. There's no question the offensive line is real. There'll be a little bit of flux in there because of the change at the tackle position, but they were still planning for that somewhat. But they're still a playoff team.
Yes.
But it won't be as easy as it was. I don't know if they're a number 1 seed. I think Dak will continue to grow because I think they'll open a few more things up open things up to him, and I think he's capable of getting it and doing it.
Okay, let's now go to a rookie quarterback who struggled, Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. He now has a dependable left tackle. He has Robert Woods and a wide receiver from Eastern Washington who they are saying has been the surprise of camp. He does appear to have a better receiving core, a legitimate left tackle, and a coaching staff that's expertise is on the offensive side of the ball while still maintaining good defensive personnel, top punter in the league. What do you think Jared Goff will look like this year, Eric?
Again, I think he'll take some steps forward. The reason they drafted him is because, and I know this firsthand, Stan Kroenke told me the reason. I asked him, why this guy? And he said he liked the fact that he could get the ball in the end zone, that's what it's all about. This whole list we've been talking about, taking it away and being in position to score. He liked the fact that Jared Goff was good in the red zone, that he could throw the ball in the tight windows. Now, the issue with the Rams is that they never got down there. They never had a chance to do that. So having a dependable receiver like Wood, yes, the offensive line I think could be better.
It'll be better.
How much better is Todd Gurley going to be? I think the issue with Todd Gurley is just understanding how to be a pro He needs to understand how to run. Where is the free hitter? Where is the danger coming from? That's what I think Todd Gurley is still trying to figure out. And that's what the good running backs in this league understand. It's not just, okay, there's a hole there. You know, if the guys in front of you do their job, there's going to be a hold. But there's a free guy coming, and how do you set that guy up? Le'Veon Bell is better than anyone at that, understanding how to take away the unblocked guy. So he has to learn how to make people miss. All of those things will help with the development of Jared Goff. I think he will definitely improve on what he's done just from being out there. But he has a little bit farther to go than some of these guys.
I think the Cowboys record and the Rams record is going to be closer than people think. The Rams had 4 wins. The Cowboys had 13. I think Dallas is 9-7, and I think the Rams become 8-8.
Can I tell you something? And it's going to sound crazy. I said this off air to someone that depending on which team can sweep the other, with the possibility of sweeping the other, the 49ers or the Rams could actually win 10 games.
I believe the Rams will. I think they'll get really close. This team won 4 games last year and could not move the football.
No.
At all.
Yes.
They have now an expertise on offense, upgrades at left tackle, quarterback, wide receiver, and more than anything, coaching. And I tell you, it's really funny to say this out loud. Dallas and Rams will be reasonably close in record.
Yes, if you look at the divisions they're in, you look
and
at
their
the schedules. Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you look at the schedules, there's a shot. And the other thing about it, regardless of what you think about Goff, no one talentless gets drafted number 1 overall. There's some talent there. You know, the guy could be a bust, all these things, but he has talent.
Cal was a dead program.
So that's the thing. He has some talent. So a few things going right here or there, they could actually be in the mix.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Same here, man.
It's The Herd.